I found the apartment listing on a Facebook group for students at Arizona State University. 2-bedroom, walking distance to campus, rent I could actually afford if I had a roommate. The photos showed a bright, clean space with big windows and a small balcony, perfect for my first year living off campus. The girl who posted it was named Jessica Chen. Her profile showed a smiling 20-year-old with long dark hair, pictures from music festivals and coffee shops, the kind of person who looked fun and easygoing. She was a junior majoring in communications, looking for a roommate to split the lease starting in August. I messaged her immediately. We video chatted the next day, and she seemed great, bubbly, friendly, excited about having a roommate who wasn't a crazy party girl. We talked about our majors, our sleep schedules, our habits. Everything aligned perfectly. I think we'd be great roommates, Jessica said at the end of the call. Want to sign the lease? I'm Hailey Morrison, 21 years old, and I was starting my junior year at ASU in the fall. I'd spent my first 2 years living in the dorms, sharing a cramped room with randomly assigned roommates who were fine but not friends. I was ready for more independence, more space, a real apartment where I could actually cook and have people over. I was also ready to be closer to my boyfriend, Tyler. We'd been together since senior year of high school, 3 years of dating, most of it long distance while I was at ASU, and he was finishing up at community college back home in Tucson. But he'd just transferred to ASU for his junior year too. Finally, after 3 years of weekend visits and constant FaceTime calls, we'd be in the same city. Jessica and I signed the lease in July. I moved in mid-August, a week before classes started. The apartment was even better in person, sunny, spacious enough that we weren't on top of each other, close to campus and all the restaurants and coffee shops on Mill Avenue. Jessica helped me move my stuff in, chatting the whole time about her summer internship and her excitement for the semester. She seemed genuinely nice, the kind of person who'd be more than just a roommate, maybe actually a friend. Tyler came up from Tucson the weekend before classes to help me settle in and see his new campus. I was so excited to introduce him to Jessica, to start building a life in Tempe, where my boyfriend and my new friend could all hang out together. Jess, this is Tyler, I said when she came home from grocery shopping that Saturday afternoon. Oh my God, hi, Jessica said, all enthusiasm. Hailey talks about you constantly. It's so great to finally meet you. Tyler smiled, friendly but a little shy, like he always was meeting new people. Nice to meet you too. Thanks for being cool with me hanging around this weekend. Are you kidding? You're welcome anytime. You guys are so cute together. They chatted for a few minutes while Tyler helped me hang pictures in my room. Jessica asked him about his major, business management, and his plans after graduation. She was warm and interested. Exactly how I'd want my roommate to treat my boyfriend. Over the next few weeks, as the semester started, the three of us fell into an easy rhythm. Tyler would come over after his classes, and sometimes Jessica would be home, and we'd all watch TV together or order food. She'd joke around with both of us, tell funny stories about her communications classes, seemed genuinely happy to have us around. I felt lucky. Not everyone got a roommate who was cool with their boyfriend being over, who actually liked hanging out with both of them instead of making things awkward. Tyler and I had been doing long distance for so long that being in the same city felt like a dream. We could see each other every day if we wanted, go to dinner without planning it weeks in advance, fall asleep next to each other instead of on FaceTime. I can't believe we actually get to do this, Tyler said one night in September, lying on my bed while I finished homework. 3 years of missing you, and now you're just here. I know, it feels unreal. Everything felt perfect. New apartment, good roommate, boyfriend, finally in the same city, classes I actually enjoyed. I kept waiting for something to go wrong because it all seemed too good. I should have trusted that instinct, The first weird moment came in early October. I came home from class and heard voices in the living room, Jessica and Tyler, which was normal. Tyler had a key and would sometimes come over to study or hang out even if I wasn't home yet. But something about their body language felt off. They were sitting on the couch, not close but not far apart either, both looking at Jessica's phone, laughing about something. "Hey," I said, dropping my backpack by the door. They both looked up, and I could have sworn Jessica moved slightly away from Tyler, like she'd been closer and had adjusted when I walked in. "Hey babe," Tyler said, smiling. "How was class?" "Fine. What are you guys doing?" "Just showing Tyler this TikTok about business majors," Jessica said, laughing. It's so accurate. It seemed innocent. But something felt wrong, in a way I couldn't articulate. Over the next few weeks, I noticed more small things. Jessica would laugh extra hard at Tyler's jokes. She'd touch his arm when she talked to him. She started dressing up more when she knew he was coming over, doing her makeup, wearing cute outfits instead of the sweatpants she usually wore around the apartment. I told myself I was being paranoid. Jessica was friendly with everyone. Tyler loved me. We'd been together for 3 years. I was just being insecure because I'd never really had to share him with other people. Long distance meant our relationship existed mostly in private, just the two of us. But the feeling persisted. In November, Tyler started acting different, more distant, less affectionate. He'd check his phone constantly when we were together. Sometimes he'd smile at whatever he was reading, and then quickly put the phone away when he noticed me watching. "Everything okay?" I asked one night when he'd barely touched me all evening, too absorbed in his phone. "Yeah, fine. Just stressed about midterms." But it didn't feel like stress. It felt like distraction, like his attention was somewhere else. I tried to talk to Jessica about it one night when Tyler wasn't around. "Do you think Tyler's been acting weird lately?" She looked up from her laptop, her expression sympathetic. "Weird how?" "I don't know. Distant? Like he's not really present when we're together. Maybe he's just adjusting to being at a new school? That's a big transition." It was a reasonable explanation. But something about the way she said it too quickly, too dismissive, made me uneasy. The breakup happened 2 days before Thanksgiving. Tyler came over after his last class, asked if we could talk. We sat on my bed, and I knew before he said anything that this was bad. "I don't know how to say this," he started, not meeting my eyes. "But I think we need to break up." My stomach dropped. "What? Why?" I've been feeling different lately, about us, about everything." "Different how?" "Tyler, we've been together 3 years. If something's wrong, we should talk about it, work on it." "I don't think we can work on this." He finally looked at me, and his eyes were sad but resolute. "I have feelings for someone else." The room tilted. "Someone else? Who?" "It doesn't matter who. What matters is that I realized I'm not in love with you anymore. I'm sorry, Hailey. I really am. You're amazing, and you deserve someone who's all in. That's not me right now." I was crying, begging him to reconsider, asking how he could throw away 3 years over some random girl he'd just met. He kept saying he was sorry, that he tried to fight the feelings but couldn't, that this was the right thing to do. He left 20 minutes later. I lay on my bed and sobbed so hard I thought I might throw up. Jessica came home an hour later and found me still crying. She sat on my bed, rubbed my back. "Let me talk through the whole thing. He said he has feelings for someone else." I choked out. "After 3 years. How does that even happen?" "Oh, Hailey, I'm so sorry. That's awful." She stayed with me all evening, brought me tissues and water, ordered my favorite Thai food even though I couldn't eat. She seemed like a good friend, exactly the support I needed. I should have noticed she wasn't asking any questions about who the other girl might be. I spent Thanksgiving break at home with my parents in Phoenix, crying and sleeping and trying to process the breakup. My mom kept saying I was young, that I'd find someone else, that maybe this was meant to be. I came back to Tempe the Sunday after Thanksgiving, dreading returning to the apartment where Tyler and I had spent so much time. Jessica texted that she was still at her parents' place and would be back Monday. Sunday evening, I went to Target to buy groceries and distract myself. I was walking through the parking lot when I saw them, Tyler and Jessica, together, walking out of the Target, laughing, Tyler's arm around her shoulders. I froze, literally could not move, just stood there staring as they walked to Tyler's car, as Jessica leaned up and kissed him before getting in the passenger seat. My roommate. The person who'd comforted me through my breakup, who'd held me while I cried about losing my boyfriend. She was the someone else. I don't remember driving home. I sat in my car in our parking lot, shaking, trying to process what I'd seen. Tyler had left me for Jessica, my roommate, the girl I'd introduced him to, the girl I'd trusted, the girl who'd sat on my bed and consoled me while secretly dating my ex-boyfriend behind my back. I felt physically sick. The betrayal was so complete, so calculated, that I couldn't wrap my mind around it. When did it start? How long had they been lying to me? Had they been talking, flirting? Maybe more while Tyler and I were still together? Was that why he'd been so distant, so absorbed in his phone? I went inside, bypassed Jessica's closed bedroom door, and locked myself in my room. I wanted to scream at her, confront her, demand answers, but I also wanted to never speak to her again. I spent all night awake, alternating between crying and rage. By morning, I'd decided I needed to know the truth. All of it. I waited until Jessica left for class Monday morning. Then I did something I'm not proud of. I went into her room and looked through her laptop. She'd left it open on her desk, unlocked, messages still up on the screen. I told myself I'd just glance at recent messages with Tyler. Just confirm what I'd seen. Get some sense of timeline. What I found was so much worse than I'd imagined. Messages going back to September, 2 months before Tyler broke up with me. 2 months of flirting, of Jessica sending him photos of herself in different outfits asking, "Which one should I wear today?" Of Tyler sending late-night texts about how he couldn't stop thinking about her. I scrolled through months of conversations, my hands shaking. Jessica, I feel bad about Hailey. Should we tell her? Tyler, not yet. I don't want to hurt her. Let me figure out the right time. Jessica, she's my roommate. This is so messy. Tyler, I know, but I can't help how I feel about you. There were photos Jessica had sent him, selfies in lingerie, suggestive poses, photos taken in our apartment, in her bedroom that was 10 feet from mine, while I was probably in my own room studying or sleeping, completely unaware. There were messages from right after Tyler broke up with me. Tyler, I did it. We broke up. Jessica, how is she? Tyler, devastated. I feel terrible, but it had to happen. Jessica, should I go comfort her? Tyler, yeah, probably. Just act normal. Act normal. Like she hadn't been the reason for the breakup. Like she wasn't planning to date my ex-boyfriend the second enough time had passed to not look suspicious. I screenshotted everything. Every message, every photo, months of conversations. I didn't know what I'd do with them yet, but I needed evidence. Proof that I wasn't crazy. That this had really happened the way I thought. When Jessica came home that evening, I was sitting on the couch waiting. "Hey," she said, dropping her bag. "How was your day?" "I saw you," I said quietly. "Yesterday at Target, with Tyler." Her face went pale. "Hailey, I can explain." "Explain what? That you've been sleeping with my boyfriend for months?" That you comforted me through a breakup you caused? That you're a lying, manipulative person who pretends to be someone's friend while actively destroying their relationship? It wasn't like that. It just happened. We didn't mean for it to. You didn't mean for it to happen? Jessica, I read your messages. All of them. You've been flirting with him since September. You sent him half-naked photos while I was in the next room. You actively pursued my boyfriend while living with me, while pretending to be my friend. She started crying. I'm so sorry. I never wanted to hurt you. Tyler and I connected, and I couldn't help how I felt. You could have helped it. You could have not pursued your roommate's boyfriend. You could have moved out if you had feelings you couldn't control. You could have done literally anything except lie to my face for months while stealing my boyfriend. I was going to tell you, after enough time passed. I didn't want you to find out like this. You weren't going to tell me. You were going to let me figure it out eventually while you and Tyler played house behind my back. I stood up, grabbed my laptop from my bag. I have screenshots of everything. Every message, every photo, the whole timeline. I'm going to post it all publicly unless you move out by the end of the month. Her eyes widened. You can't do that. That's my private information. You mean the private information where you detail how you seduced your roommate's boyfriend? The messages where you both laugh about lying to me? That private information? Hailey, please, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't ruin my life over this. You ruined mine first. I went to my room, locked the door, and spent the next 3 hours carefully crafting a post. I included screenshots of the most damning messages. Nothing explicit, just enough to show the timeline, the lies, the calculated nature of what they'd done. I wrote, 3 months ago, I introduced my roommate to my boyfriend of 3 years. For the past 2 months, she's been sleeping with him behind my back. He broke up with me 2 weeks ago, saying he had feelings for someone else but didn't tell me who. My roommate comforted me through the breakup while actively dating my ex. Here's proof of everything, the messages, the timeline, the lies. Just wanted everyone to know who Jessica Chen and Tyler Matthews really are. I tagged them both. I posted it to Facebook, where all our mutual friends would see it. Then I posted similar versions to Instagram, Twitter, everywhere our social circles overlapped. Within an hour, the post had 100 likes and dozens of comments. Friends from high school, people I'd met at ASU, even people who didn't know me directly but saw the post shared. Everyone was on my side. This is disgusting behavior. I can't believe they did this to you. Jessica seems like such a nice person, but this is evil. Tyler is trash. Jessica started getting messages. I could hear her phone buzzing constantly in her room. Tyler was probably getting the same. She knocked on my door around midnight. Hailey, please take the post down. People are messaging me horrible things. I get that you're angry, but this is too much. It's not too much, it's the truth. You did this, you both did. And now everyone knows. You're humiliating me. I'm getting threats. People are calling me awful names. Maybe you should have thought about that before you fucked my boyfriend. She didn't have a response to that. Over the next week, the fallout was intense. Jessica's friends confronted her. Tyler lost several people he'd been close with. People who thought what he'd done was unforgivable. The story spread through ASU's student population. People love drama, and this had all the elements of a good scandal. Jessica barely left her room. When she did, she avoided eye contact with me. She started staying at friends' places, clearly uncomfortable in the apartment. Tyler sent me a long apologetic text that I deleted without reading. 2 weeks after I posted everything, Jessica sent me a message. I'm moving out. I found someone to take over my half of the lease. I'll be gone by the 15th. Good. I wanted her gone. I wanted both of them out of my life completely. She moved out quietly, taking her stuff while I was in class. I came home to find her room empty, keys on the counter. Just like that, she was gone. The new roommate who took over her lease was a quiet nursing major named Kayla, who mostly kept to herself. Perfect. Tyler tried to reach out a few more times, texts I didn't respond to. Attempts to talk on campus that I walked away from. Eventually, he gave up. Jessica transferred to a different university the following semester. I heard through mutual friends that she couldn't handle people knowing what she'd done, couldn't walk around campus without getting dirty looks. I didn't feel bad about that. Actions have consequences. She'd made choices. And now she was living with them. People asked if I regretted posting everything publicly, if I felt bad about ruining their reputations. No. I didn't ruin anything. They ruined their own reputations by being terrible people. I just made sure everyone knew the truth. Some people said I should have handled it privately, that publicly shaming them was too harsh. But what was the alternative? Let them quietly start dating while I pretended not to know they'd been lying to me for months? Let Jessica continue living in our apartment, pretending we were friends, while she slept with my ex-boyfriend? No. They deserved to be exposed for exactly what they were, liars who'd betrayed someone who trusted them. I'm 22 now. It's been 8 months since everything happened. I'm dating someone new, a guy I met in one of my classes who's kind and honest and would never dream of doing what Tyler did. I live with Kayla, who's become a real friend, someone I can actually trust. Jessica and Tyler are apparently still together, according to social media. They deserve each other, two people who think betrayal is acceptable if you have feelings that justify it. I don't think about them much anymore. Sometimes I see people who knew the whole story, and they'll give me sympathetic looks or tell me I handled everything perfectly. That validation helps. But mostly, I've moved on. Built a new life without either of them in it. A better life, with people who actually deserve to be part of it. If your roommate or friend ever betrays you like this, document everything. Get proof. Don't let them gaslight you into thinking you're overreacting or being crazy. And don't feel bad about exposing the truth. People who do terrible things don't deserve to have their reputations protected. They deserve to face consequences. Jessica and Tyler faced theirs. And I got my life back. That's the only ending this story needed.